This week on PA Books, the author of The Spas, The Life and Times of Basketball's Greatest Jewish Team, Douglas Stark.
Douglas Stark, author of The Spas, The Life and Times of Basketball's Greatest Jewish Team. What kind of name is Spas for a basketball team?
Well, it was an acronym. It stands for the South Philadelphia Hebrew Association. And the team was really a bunch of kids who had played together in City High School at Southern, and they won a number of championships, and they wanted to keep playing when they graduated around 1918. And first they went to the YMHA, the Young Men Hebrews Association, and they got a sponsorship in exchange for uniforms, and they played for about a year, and then the YMHA just revoked and just said, well, we're not interested anymore in doing this.
You say in your book they played too rough.
It was. Well, it was a very rough game at that time. It was very different. I mean, basketball was invented in 1891, and it was only about 30 years old by the time the Spas had begun. So they played inside chicken wires or cages that would surround the court, and that's how basketball players got the name cagers. So scoring was very low. You had sort of defined positions on the court: center, left guard, left forward, right forward. It was a lot of passing. Scores were very low, probably in the teens and the 20s. It was very rough. So it was a different game. And the YMHA and even the YMCAs for a while wanted to sort of distance themselves from the roughhouse-ness of the sport. So then they went to the South Philadelphia Hebrew Association at 4th and Reed, and they were willing to sponsor them.
So that was an existing association at the time?
It was, and the building is still there. I mean, the association isn't. And they played under that rubric for a couple years, and then the organization, like the YMHA, just said we're not interested anymore. But by then, they were a little more established, and the three players that had founded the team, Eddie Gottlieb, Chicky Passon, and Huey Black, were really starting to make it on their own. So they had founded Passon's Sporting Goods Store, which had a long life in Philadelphia, but at the time it was Passon, Gottlieb, and Black. That was the name of the store. And they made their own uniforms at that point. But they wanted to keep the identity, so they always kept the Spas all the way until they finished playing in 1959.